Hello everyone. So yeah, as the title suggests, I failed. I failed the test day. So I guess I'll talk about the test day and just yesterday. Right. So yeah. This was the test day. This was. You can see this. I'll put the link in the description below. I don't know. I'll link it somewhere. But it's here on Alpha Timing. So if you want to check it out. Um. So basically, TLDR. I was in Rookie A, so I was in the Rookie A group. 20 people. So yeah. So I'll first talk about kind of how my sessions went. So first session, no confidence at all. Um, we did a we arrived about 11:15 or something like that. Well, a little bit before 11:15. We walked around the track, and I could see it was fairly slick. You know, you could see like it was shiny and all that in some places. There was puddles, and there was, I mean, the exit curb on the last corner that was flooded. That was just there was there where the gaps are in like the curbs. There's just like water. Um. So yeah. Um. Um. So the first session, we were the well, yeah, as you can see here, we were the second guys to go out. So the experience session, um, so Tyler here, he was our captain. It doesn't say he was from Warwick, but he is. So that's our captain there. He went fastest. And then here in the rookie class, so as you can see here, you know, they had a 50-minute session. So we had two 50-minute sessions. So session one, um, oh my god, it was a nightmare. Let's just say that. So as you can see here, um, basically there was a lot of traffic. There was a lot of not traffic. Sorry, a lot of yellow flags. Literally, the first thing the guys say when we come in is that was a nightmare. Like, and I could see on the DigiDash, like I was passing by the start finish line. I could see the DigiDash. It was just constant black flag, black flag, black flag. Track limits, track warnings, curb warnings. It was like, my word. I made two spins. I had two spins because, simply put, I was not comfortable. The track conditions were they were really dry in area. They were really dry in some areas, and there was like really slippery in other areas. Like, because in the briefing, like, because you get like messages before. I got emails before the event. Basically, they encouraged us not to spin out more than once or twice. So I was like, okay, I cannot spin here. I cannot spin here. So I was just focusing on not spinning because I'm seeing a lot of guys spin. Turn two was especially difficult because if you've been around Wilton Mill, it's kind of a fast left, fast right. Turn two, the right hander, it had kind of water on the inside, like it was greasy, like it was shiny on the inside. Every time I touched that, it would just, yeah, it would just go straight. So I had to slow down and brake just so it didn't like go off onto the curb, onto the runoff. Yeah, so that's probably why you can see here. Just I'm really slow, really slow. What? But again, keep in mind here there was a lot of yellow flags. And that was another thing as well. The yellow flags, they were... It was really confusing because I was always expecting a green flag. Like, I was of the mentality of, if I don't see a green flag, it's still yellow. It's still yellow. So, I look behind me and I see, like 3 guys behind me who have just caught up to me because I'm going slowly because I think it's a yellow flag. So, it really confused me, but at the same time, I didn't want to take any chances of, like, ignoring yellow flags or going too quickly and, you know, crashing under yellows. That, yeah, I didn't want to do that, so better safe than sorry, I guess. But as you can see here, like, each and every lap, I think, was just, like, my fastest lap was a 50. I only just got a 51 because everyone was just spinning. Like, you see that 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute. It's just everyone's doing 1 minute. Yeah. It was only until, like, the last couple of laps where it started to calm down a bit. But again, like, the track conditions really slippery. I had no confidence in the car or the track. Every time I turn a corner, I would always brake. I was always slow around the corners than I think other people were, because I just didn't want to take the chance, like, oh wait, I shouldn't have taken it that fast and, you know, crash. So yeah, so that was Rookie A Session 1. By the time all these guys had run, the track had dried up a bit. It was sunny. The karts had been running. So it was a lot drier. It was a bit better. You could take, I was a lot more comfortable with turn 1 and 2 now. But it was still slippery. Because the thing is with those karts is that they don't have the feedback which I normally get from karts. Like the brakes, no feedback. No feedback. Like, there's no feedback on where the limit is. It's just, you brake. It's like, maybe I should brake a little bit more here because I'm not slowing down. That's exactly why I spun the first time, was because I wasn't even pushing. I was just braking I was braking fairly early. And I was just like, okay, you can't mash the brakes in these things. So you just got to be gradual, slowly, slow it down, make the apex. But it wasn't slowing down. So I just pressed it a little bit harder and it went round. It just, like, it did a little bit of a kind of, oh no, it's going, it's gone. It didn't go immediately, it just went, oh no, it's going, and I just couldn't save it. Same happened in the second spin. It was like around the kink, so you go around the hairpin, and there's a kink. This is before you go into the Zulu section, so it's the hairpin. I think it's Christmas. I think it's called Christmas. So you go through Christmas, then there's a slight left-hand kink. If you turn a bit too much there, I accelerated, turned a little bit too much. Again, it's going, it's gone. And that time I got stuck in the grass, so I had to get out of my car, push it. It's like, but I don't want to touch anything that's like, you don't want to touch things that you shouldn't be touching. Because a lot of things are exposed in that kart, so it's like, I preferably don't want to touch something and then suddenly have my finger sliced off or something, so I'm just like, I'm pushing the front tyre, and it's like, And eventually Marshall came up and helped me out, and he just picked it up at the back and just dragged it. So yeah, but I got back in. So that was session 1. No confidence. Session 2, a lot more confidence. I genuinely feel like by the end of it, I got the hang of it. I got the hang of it. Problem was that I think by like halfway through the session, yellows came out and they would not go away. Like the whole start finish straight was just yellow. It was yellow all the time. So you had to just lift off, lose time. I feel like I really was like I was going really quick through like everything else except for the straight, and it really killed my times. See here, like I don't understand how they managed to do a 47. Like, I mean, I was fairly consistent. Like you can see here, like I'm pretty sure I made the mistake there, lap 6. Oh yeah, and I'm pretty sure I made another mistake here. Yeah, so I did 2 spins as well. I did 2 spins as well. Basically, I tried lifting off of the final corner, where the monster curve is. I lifted off there, went a bit too wide, touched the curb, that spun me around. Got around, safely rejoined the racing, and then the next spin. And I don't think this was my fault really, because there was a guy who I was so much quicker than other guys. I was so much quicker. So some of these guys doing like all the way down here. No, sorry, some of these guys doing 54s, 52s, 55s. I was catching them up. One guy braked a lot earlier than I thought he was. Like, I was behind him, but I wasn't, on his, right behind him. I knew he was going to brake early, but it wasn't, it was just, it's one of those things where you just brake, and you can't really do anything except hit him or take avoiding action. I took avoiding action. So I went on the outside, that got me on the grass, that spun me around. Again, I don't know what I should have done in that situation. It was just like he caught me completely off guard. But yeah, other than that, completely clean. Not once, because I was the 2 kart in both sessions. Not once did I see 2 on the dashboard. I'm just gonna call it the dashboard, so I don't have to. So on the dashboard, it said never did it say 2. Not once. Not once at all did it ever go black flag, warning, whatever. No speeding under yellows, no nothing. I was clean. I was perfectly clean. The only things I did was spin. And come on, I'm learning the track. This was the first time I'm around Wilton Mill. First ever time. Okay? I've done the sim, yeah, sure, but real life is different. It's a bit different. So, whilst you have an idea on where you're going, you look at the track and it's like, okay, that's actually a lot more tighter than I thought it would have been. Whilst in the sim, I can go all the way to the exit, on turn 2. I didn't have any confidence in I didn't have I had no balls, basically. I had no balls to go onto the curbing, because it's wet. It's still pretty slick out there. I'm not gonna risk it. But I was really doing well, like going through the Zulu section, hitting the curbs, not going over the curbs, not track extending or anything. I was doing so well. I really want to see. And it's a real shame they don't show the sector times, because I feel like if I feel like if I had the sector times, I would be able to show exactly what I mean, because I felt like I was doing really well in those sectors. But once we got to yellow flags, it was like, yeah, I slowed down. And I think the reason why these guys got 47s was because they didn't slow down that much, you know, or they got lucky. Because, again, like, there's got to be some ignoring yellow flags here. They can't do a 47 whilst I'm doing 50s. But again, both of our sessions were curtailed by, like, incidents. They were curtailed by yellow flags everywhere. And they had some guys. Well, I mean, I remember Tyler when he was bringing us home, when he was taking us from the event. He said like the marshalling that day was poor, like it was really poor. Some guys were just sat in their seat doing nothing. You know, and like you look at the marshals, like you look at the marshals because you're trying to focus on, okay, where do I lift off here? Because there may be a crash coming up. They just sat there. And it's like, what does that mean? What does that mean? Like, why are you sitting there? Tell me if it's a green flag or a yellow flag situation. Which is something which I talked about to the, I think, organizer or like one of the guys there. I can't remember his name, but like he was in like a blue suit. And he said, yeah, he always kind of gave tips and like feedback and advice after the sessions. So yeah, after the first session, he gave us like kind of a rundown on like the disciplinary issues and all that, and where to go a bit quicker. Yeah, and I actually asked him, right, what about yellow flags? Because where do the yellow flags end? Because I'm not getting green flags, and I'm of the mentality, if there's no green flags, it's still yellow flags. I am not risking. I am always going to make sure it's better safe than sorry. So if I don't see a green flag, I ain't going. And if I don't see a green flag whilst I see the track is clear, I get really confused. So, but I guess that under I guess what I was told is that if I don't see a yellow flag, that's a green flag. Green flag means no flag, no yellow flag. If there's a yellow flag, that's a yellow flag. But yeah, I mean, I guess there were a few things which I felt like I felt like I could have gone faster around turn 1 and turn 2. Everywhere else, I felt like I was pretty planted. Like I was hitting the apex every single time. Putting my cart in the right place. Like guys were going really slowly going into the Zulu section, like where the main track goes into the Zulu section. That kind of hairpin. They were going really slowly. I mean, there was a few times where I had to like just back off a bit because like they were going so slowly. So I get a really good run on them, but I just backed off immediately because like they're going so slowly that if I do anything, they're probably not gonna expect it and freak out, and I'm not risking causing an incident, you know. And it's just like, so yeah. At the end of both sessions, I felt like I was comfortable. I only made a few mistakes. I only made a few spins here or there, and I was told, and this is what really gets me. I was told by the guys where I specifically stated, at the start of session 2, I'm worried about spinning. I don't have the confidence because I don't want to spin, but I want to get a time in. And they said specifically, right, this is practice. This is a test day. You're allowed to make spins, once or twice. So I do that. I did exactly what was asked of me. I never made a mistake. Well, I did make a mistake. I never got any problem. I never had any problems with on the dashboard, no nothing. Never had my name come up, never have my number come up. And yet I still didn't get my license. And I was confident. Like, at the end of that, like, I came out of the second session, like, oh my word, I've done so well. Until I found out that I was only doing 50.6s. But I want to show you something here, though. Look at the results, okay? Look at the average speed, specifically the average speed. If you come to me, I was in 10th place. 46.66. Now look at this guy, 31.1. 36, 35, 36. 34. Like, the guy who was doing 48 was doing a 33.77 average speed. Where am I losing all the time? I can guarantee you it's the yellow flags. These guys right here, they were lucky with the yellow flags. I was constantly funked over by the yellow flags. Look again, the average speed. I mean, look at here's my teammate right here, with 47.7. I'm telling you now, I would have been around here. I would have been around here. And I'm telling you now, give me enough practice, I can do around these times. If I have the confidence, I can do that. I mean, look at the laps I did. 15. Well, this guy obviously won. Ted Brett as well, third. The times as well. So he, okay. Actually, Oscar had like the best kind of the time, like the quickest time period. I mean, again, it's probably because they finished their lap and then it was checkered flag, so they couldn't continue, so they just stopped at the. So yeah, you can't really trust these, I guess. But I can guarantee you now, I would have done a sub 50. If it wasn't for those yellow flags, it would have been a sub 50. So I went to the university library to just check out the emails and all that. And yeah, that's where I got confirmation that I didn't get my my license. And I've had a day to think about it, and like, on one hand, I'm just distraught. Like, I'm telling you now, like, I just sat in that seat at that library and I wasn't emotional. I was just kind of like, yeah, I just sat there and just sat in silence and just, you know, I felt angry at myself as well. But at the same time, I just felt like it was also harsh as well. Because I didn't have any problems at all. Never had anyone bring up any issues. You know, I felt like I was much cleaner than everyone else. And I get that's my record now. That's on my record. I'm gonna have to go to Buckmore, and I am going to Buckmore. Okay, like this is the thing. I'm in two separate mindsets here. I'm absolutely distraught because I genuinely believe, like, I was confident I was getting my license yesterday. I should have my license. I should have it, but I didn't. So I'm so angry at myself with that. And I'm also very confused as to why I didn't get my license. Because, you know, I mean, I'm in 46.5, right? 110%, 46.5, right? Let's see it. 46.5. 51.1. 51.1. I'm within the time frame. 50.6. I'm within 110%. Wait, hang on. Is it 107%? I thought they said 110%. Right, okay. So yeah, it probably was 107%. But, like, and this is what bothers me again is I was in a field where there was a lot of kind of people who didn't know what they were doing. Like I talked to Jonathan here. I talked to him in between sessions, and I'm like, I feel like if the because again this group just some of them don't know how to drive. Some of them are just like completely ignore yellow flags. They're just oblivious. I felt like they were just genuinely oblivious. I told him like it'd be great if they actually kind of give us another chance. Like if they take some of us and put us into another group, we'll be doing so much better. I feel like I've been kind of robbed, and I'm not gonna blame other people because ultimately these guys here they got the job done. They went faster than me. It's probably a me problem. So I'm not gonna blame anyone else other than me. It's my fault. I should have driven better. Maybe I shouldn't have spun as well. Yeah. Again, your license, it's your responsibility. Yeah, it's my responsibility. I failed it. But yeah, I was in a very low mood when I got that email. I went to Mr. Karting. I was kind of half in, half out. Like my body, can it take another 60 minutes of karting? That was a 60-minute endurance race that they were doing at Mr. Karting. So I was kind of half in, half out. Like I don't know if I'm going to do it or not. But then I just decided, hell, why not? Might as well. I'm in a sulk. I might as well bother myself. Like it'll take my mind a bit off of it. And I talked to the guys there. I talked to the staff and the drivers there about the fact that I hadn't got my license, and they said like maybe it's because of my pace. I think I think they may actually have a point because I mean here you see 49.7. I needed a 49.7. I got a 50.6. So obviously I'm behind. But this is the thing. You've got to take into account the yellow flags. You've got to take into account the yellow flags. And every time I saw a yellow flag, let off the gas. I just let off the gas. I can guarantee some of these guys, they did not let off the gas. They just kind of, yeah. They told me stay about 60%, 50%. I did exactly that. I left the throttle, I don't know, maybe I was 45%. Maybe that's what did it. Maybe that's why. But these guys here, like, come on. I feel a sense of being robbed, but at the same time, I'm not going to blame anyone else. It's happened. I don't know. Should I appeal? I don't know. It's just been like kind of. It's just been a massive shock to me that like because I was so confident I was getting my license. It's like this is going to be easy. And it's just 4 spins. It's either those 4 spins, just a few couple spins here and there that did it, or it was just I wasn't quick enough because I was funked over by the flags. But anyway, they didn't mention though, because I did mention that Tyler went in. He went in the experienced ones. He wasn't actually supposed to be in the event. This is why you see here again. He had no team because he just jumped in because I think some of the I think some of Yeah, I did notice like some of the announcements are like last call for this person. So he jumped in one of them, and but as soon as I said like he did 44, they said that's probably why. That's probably why they didn't give you the license because he did a 44. So you had to go and get within that time period, and that's probably what did it for me. But I don't think that was true. I don't know. I half believe that, half don't, because I'm pretty sure it's like 110% within, the best time of the day, the best time of the session. I would have been in. I would have got 110%. 110% of 110% of no, that's not it. 110% of 46.5, right? Okay, 110%. Right. Okay, yeah. But you get what I mean. You get what I mean. Like, I genuinely do think some of these guys may have been speeding a bit too much on the yellow flags. They may have gone a bit too quick. Because I really do, I was genuinely quicker than other people. Like, my second mistake, when I spun, like, because I got brake checked essentially, like the guy braked earlier than I thought I was, and I had to take avoiding action. I caught him literally the next lap. Like, I spun, got back going again, and within 1-2 laps, caught up to him again. And passed him. I had to deal with traffic. Again, the average speed, right here. I would have done at least a 49. At least a 49. The first thing I said when I was told I did a 50.6, I would have done a 49. At least a 49. One of those laps, like I was going through the middle, I was going through the sections, and I'm like, this is going to be a 49 or a 48 or a 47. I genuinely believe that. But now it's like, I'm gonna have to go to Buckmore, and I am going to Buckmore. I'm not. I'm going again. But again, the problem. The thing is, because I blew this now, I'm not going to be able to drive in Buckmore. I'm not going to be able to drive for the first race of the season. I'm not going to be racing for the first race of the season because I'm pretty sure the test day is the day before the event. And because, they said that the team said, we're not going to put you in the qualifiers, which is today and tomorrow. We're not going to put you in the qualifiers because we've already planned everything out. Everyone's kind of, everything's kind of booked in and all that. Everyone's slotted in, and we can't really slot you in. Who knows? I could have been a reserve if I got my license. If I messaged them, I've got my license. I could have been a reserve or something. If me and Jonathan had the license, we could have been Warwick E. We have Warwick A to D. Who's to say we can't make an E team? But now, I'm going to have to wait until January, at the start of the season, the day before the season starts, to get that license in. And by then, again, everything will be planned. All the teams planned. Everyone has their slots. Everything's booked in. Everything's slotted in. There's no room for me. And that's what annoys me. That's what annoys me, because I've blown my chance to race at Buckmore. I've blown my chance to and then what if I blow my chance at Buckmore? Then it's going to be another test session. I'm going to miss that race. It's like, what do I need to do to get my license? I'm starting to think it's pace. 46.5. 50.6. It's below 110%. Below 110%. But a lot of guys were below 100. Like, look, guys doing 55s. 55. 54. Average speed 25. 29. Where are these guys coming from? Like, again, like, this is my thing. Like, I feel like the group, a lot of the guys didn't know exactly what they were doing. It's like, it genuinely felt like I was racing with guys who had never karted before. And I feel like it. Again, my fault. But I just can't have this. I just have this inkling feeling in my mind. If I had a better group, if I had more clean track, if I had a better time, if I was in the right place at the right time, I would have made it in. I would have got my license. I would have gone for a fast lap. I had a fast lap in it. I swear. Now I'm going to have to go to Buckmore, and another track I don't know, in this car, which is, again, like, I mean, how am I going to practice for Buckmore? Yeah, other than sim racing, which I did practice Will to Mill on, but, like, again, I'm going to be driving rental carts, not these things. Not Rotax things. I'm going to be driving, Sodi things, not Rotax things, and that's different. There's going to be different braking points, different, like, times where you can mash the throttle in that. You can mash the brakes. Not with these. So anything I learn there is going to be fairly superficial. Other than learning the layout. So I'm going to drive at a circuit I've never driven before. That I'm going to learn. I have to learn within 30 minutes. I've got 15 minutes and another 15 minutes. It's like, then I have to make sure that the track is at optimum, conditions. It's not icy, it's not cold, it's not slippery, it's not, I'm gonna get the Buckmore one. I'm gonna do it. I am doing it. I'm still doing it, but I'm gonna do it. I am doing it. I'm not giving up at all. Right? Yeah, like this is driving me, okay? Like they've okay? You've said that I failed my license, I'm going back again. I ain't taking that. But at the same time, I'm gonna be going to Buckmore. And here's the thing, right? I went to the test yesterday, and they said, any hands for anyone who's already done a test day but failed. I'm gonna have to put my hand up. I'm gonna put my hand up saying I failed at my first attempt. That's on my record now. These guys I'm gonna arrive and go, oh yeah, you were at the Wilton test a few months ago and you failed. You failed to get your license there. Hopefully you can do a bit better this time. It feels like that it's become personal with me. I took offence to that. So it's now become personal with me. That's the thing. That's the new drive. So on one hand, I'm absolutely demoralised, but on the other hand, I'm not. And it's merely gonna drive me, and like I'm gonna go to Buckmore. I'm gonna go for it. Right? I'm absolutely going for it. Yeah, you. I am not going to do this again. But at the same time, it's like, what if I do it again? I'm in two mindsets here. I mean, the Mr. Karting guys, they said talk to JB or JV. I don't know if they said JB or JV. I don't know how to contact that guy, but apparently they said contact him about it and see if he can do anything about it. I don't want to appeal. I feel like moaning about, but I didn't get a good lap in. All this, it's excuses. But at the same time, I do feel robbed. I feel robbed, but I don't want to make any excuses for it. I should have put a lap in. There may have been 1 or 2 laps where I could have put in a proper lap in, and I didn't take those up. I didn't take those chances. I had to brake for them. I had to because I couldn't I had no confidence in those guys. I had no confidence in the guys in front of me to brake where they should be. So I was always braking before they were, just to make sure that I'm not gonna smash into the back of them because they've just braked. I mean, again, the fact that I spun because someone braked earlier than me and it caught me off guard, that explains precisely what I've been saying. Some of the guys were just in the way, and I had to practically, they were moving chicanes. I had to be careful with them, which cost me time. Again, it's an arrive and drive session, that was. But again, no mistakes, no excuses. I'm gonna go to Buckmore, and I'm going to push, right? But again, because I don't actually have a full explanation though. Because the thing is with the email, hang on, I'm just gonna hide my thing here. Right, so to the email. Hi Thomas, I hope you enjoyed today's test day at Wilton Mill Zulu. Having gone through the results and looking at the number of spins, penalties and lap times for each driver, we feel it would be best not to issue you now. The reason for this is different for each driver. We have looked at lap times from all of the sessions and as well as how many times you spun or received a penalty. I didn't receive a penalty. I spun 4 times, both in both sessions, but again, I was told that doesn't really hurt all that much. And I was told by everyone yeah, it's fine to spin once or twice, which I did. No harm. No harm should have been done there. In general, if you were spinning a lot or bumping into other drivers or simply not paying attention to the yellow flags, then we won't issue you with a license. Similarly, if you are considered too slow, we deem to be 110% off the fastest lap time. But what does that mean? What does that mean? Again, this is my problem, is the email doesn't actually specify why I didn't get my license. Was it pace or was it the spins? So I'm going to go into Buckmore going, I can't spin. Yeah, so I can't spin, but at the same time, it's I've got to get within that 110%. But what does that 110% mean? It's it says here, we deem to be about 110% of the fastest lap time. What does that mean? Does that mean the fastest lap time of the session? Or the last... It's oh my god. Please explain more. I need to know more, please. I need to know. To know. But yeah, I'm gonna. I've taken this personally. It's it's a drive for me now, right? So I'm gonna try going the DMAXs a bit more at Tamworth, or Milton Keynes. I'm gonna drive as many of those karts as possible, which I can, that are similar to the Club 100 karts. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna make sure that I'm not gonna make. I'm not going to have this again. I'm getting my license at Buckmore. I am getting it. And if I don't, I'm getting it at the next test session. I'll get it the next session. I'm not stopping until I get this license. I am not stopping. Again, average speed. Average speed. Everyone. I would have been at least 5th or 6th or 8th. I would have moved up about a few places there if it wasn't for yellow flags. Again, I think that's just kind of a rant, kind of a moan and all that. But I am going to Buckmore again. This is not the end. I'm going again. It's just I just hate the idea that now Whenever people say, "Oh, how did you get into the BUKC?" I'm gonna have to mention I failed my first attempt at getting a license. I'm gonna go to Buckmore and they're gonna treat me like an idiot. They're gonna treat me like one of those idiots who failed to get his license, and I hate that. But I'm gonna make sure they're proven wrong. I'm gonna get that license, and once I get my license, I am going to prove. Because I can guarantee you now, once I get into once I get into the championship, once I start racing, I will prove myself. I can race. I can. I mean, I don't think I'm going to be the fastest guys. I'm not. I don't think I'm going to win it like the Inters. I'm not going to make the mains, certainly. I'm not going to make the mains championship, but I think I can produce some good results in the Inters Championship. I'm not going to win anything, but I think I can perform. And I'm going to show that. I just need to get this stupid license. I know I'm good enough. I just need just that one, just getting that license, then getting into a race. I can show it. I can prove it. I was clean. I was nothing on the board, nothing on the dashboard for me at all. I'm gonna go to Buckmore and get this stupid license. I'm gonna get it. I'm getting that stupid license. I'm getting into that. I'm gonna get into this championship